Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Please use long comments to explain coin information clearly, so we can understand it better and respond appropriately based on your comments. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into a truly inspiring piece of modern American coinage, the 2022 Maya Angelou $quarter. This isn't just any quarter. It's the first coin in U.S. history to feature a black woman, and it's part of the American Women Quarters program. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who's found a shiny quarter in your change, this coin has a powerful story, and potentially surprising value. So grab your coin jars, because you might just have a treasure hiding in plain sight. Released in early 2022, the Maya Angelou quarter marked a turning point in U.S. currency design. On the obverse side, you'll still see the familiar portrait of George Washington, but it's a brand new depiction, designed by Laura Garden Fraser, which was actually intended for the 1932 quarter but only now has made its debut. This updated design gives a fresh, dignified look to the nation's first president, but the real star of the show is the reverse side of the coin. There, you'll find a striking image of Maya Angelou, poet, author, and civil rights icon, with her arms uplifted in front of a soaring bird and rising sun. The imagery reflects themes from her groundbreaking autobiography I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It's not just beautiful, it's meaningful. This coin is a celebration of heritage, freedom, and the enduring power of words. Now let's talk rarity and why this quarter is attracting attention in the collector world. While millions of Maya Angelou quarters were minted for circulation by the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, not all of them are created equal. Circulated coins are common, but uncirculated and high-grade specimens, especially those graded MS-67 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC, are much harder to find. These coins, when kept in pristine condition, are already turning heads at auctions and in online marketplaces. And then there's the exciting part for collectors: errors. Yes, even newly minted coins can come with mistakes, and those mistakes can mean money. Some rare Maya Angelou quarters have been found with die cracks, doubling, off-center strikes, and even struck through grease errors. These flaws, while technically accidents, are considered unique and highly desirable by error coin enthusiasts. Imagine finding a quarter in your pocket that turns out to be a rare mint error worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. Collectors are also on the lookout for special versions like the San Francisco Mint's proof coins, which were never intended for circulation. These coins come with mirror-like finishes and are struck multiple times for sharp detail, making them true gems for display or investment. Even better, some of these proofs come in silver, adding intrinsic value to their artistic and historical worth. So how much is the Maya Angelou 2022 quarter really worth today? While standard circulated coins may only go for face value, coins in top uncirculated condition or with verified errors have sold for as much as $250 to $2,000 at auction. Silver-proof versions in pristine condition can command even higher prices, depending on rarity and demand. It just goes to show, sometimes, history doesn't come in gold bars or ancient relics. Sometimes, it's sitting quietly in your pocket change, waiting for someone to recognize its story and value. So next time you get a quarter back in change, take a closer look. It might just be your next great discovery. Top 2, we're traveling back to the 1996, to be exact, to uncover the story behind a coin that millions of Americans have held in their hands, often without realizing its hidden potential. We're talking about the United States of America 1996 $quarter. At first glance, it may seem like your everyday coin, but some versions of this quarter are worth far more than just 25 cents. So whether you're a casual collector, a serious numismatist, or just someone with a jar full of old coins, pay close attention. You might be holding a valuable piece of history. Let's begin with the basics. The 1996 Washington quarter features the classic design we've all come to recognize. On the obverse, you'll see the iconic portrait of George Washington, facing left, designed by John Flanagan. His profile has been a staple on the quarter since 1932, honoring the first U.S. president's legacy. On the reverse, you'll find the proud image of the American bald eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below, symbolizing strength and peace. Now, in 1996, quarters were minted at 3 major locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can tell where your coin was made by checking the small letter just to the right of Washington's ponytail: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Each mint had different production numbers, and some of these are far scarcer than others, especially when it comes to condition and special varieties. Here's where things start to get exciting. Most 1996 quarters are still floating around in circulation today, but not all of them are created equal. Some coins from this year, especially those in uncirculated or high-grade mint state condition, have become highly collectible. Coins that have never been touched, stored properly, and show no signs of wear can fetch a nice premium. And then there are the rare varieties and errors that can make a regular-looking coin incredibly valuable. Let's talk about those errors. Error coins are like hidden gems, accidental misprints that occurred during the minting process, making each one unique. Some 1996 quarters have been found with off-center strikes, where the design is shifted away from the center of the coin. Others feature double dies, where parts of the lettering or image appear slightly doubled. You might even come across coins struck on the wrong planchet, like a quarter struck on a nickel or dime blank, which can cause the coin to be smaller, lighter, or show unusual metal coloration. Collectors absolutely love these types of errors because they're not only rare, they tell a story about what went wrong in the minting process. No two error coins are exactly alike, which makes them especially appealing for anyone looking to add something truly unique to their collection. Also worth noting are the proof coins minted in San Francisco. These quarters weren't made for circulation and were sold directly to collectors. They were struck using special dies and polished blanks, resulting in a brilliant, mirror-like finish. If you have a 1996 S-proof quarter, especially one in perfect condition, you could be looking at a highly desirable collector's item. But remember, condition is everything in the coin world. A coin that's been circulated and scratched up is usually only worth face value. But a 1996 quarter in mint state, graded MS67 or higher, or one with a rare mint error, can command significantly more money on the collector's market. So what's the real-world value of a 1996 US quarter dollar today? While most are still worth just 25 cents, some high-grade mint state examples have sold for $30 to $100. Rare error coins or coins graded MS68 and above have reached auction prices of up to $1,500. And proof versions from the San Francisco Mint in perfect condition have sold for $50 to $250, depending on demand. That's why it's always worth flipping over those quarters in your change, especially the ones from 1996. You never know when you might come across a coin with history, mystery, and serious value hidden in plain sight. Top 3, we're taking a journey into the heart of American coin history to uncover the fascinating story behind a small but powerful piece of metal, the 1983 United States quarter dollar. Now, you might be thinking, what's so special about a quarter from the 80s? Well, don't be fooled. This coin is not just change in your pocket. For sharp-eyed collectors, the 1983 quarter could be a hidden gem, especially if you know what to look for. Stay with us until the end, because we're going to reveal how this ordinary-looking coin could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. The 1980s were a unique time in American history. The economy was recovering, technology was evolving, and people were just beginning to grasp the idea of collectible coins becoming long-term investments. But here's where the 1983 quarter stands out from the crowd. It comes from a year when the U.S. Mint didn't release any official mint sets for collectors. That's right, no mint sets in 1983. This means most of the coins from that year were struck for circulation only, and nearly all of them ended up in people's pockets, purses, and cash registers. Why is that important? Because it means high-quality, uncirculated 1983 quarters are much harder to find. Most coins from this year were used in everyday transactions, resulting in scratches, wear, and damage. So, if you come across a 1983 quarter in near perfect condition, you could be looking at something truly rare. Let's talk design for a moment. On the front, or obverse, you'll see the familiar profile of George Washington, facing left, with the word Liberty above and the date, 1983, below. The reverse features the proud American bald eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows, and standing on an olive branch. Classic, patriotic, and timeless, but what really gets collectors excited about the 1983 quarter are the unique errors and striking flaws that can make a simple coin extremely valuable. One of the most well-known and sought-after varieties is the 1983 P. Spitting Eagle quarter. On this coin, there's a small die crack that appears to show something, like a spit or a small stream, coming from the eagle's beak. It may sound strange, but this little minting flaw has made the Spitting Eagle one of the most collectible modern quarters out there. There are also examples of off-center strikes, double dies, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. Each of these errors makes a coin even more rare and desirable. In a world full of millions of standard quarters, these flawed ones are like hidden treasures. Collectors love them because no two are exactly alike, and each tells its own story of how it slipped through the strict quality controls of the U.S. Mint. Another thing to keep in mind is the condition of the coin. Since there were no mint sets released in 1983, finding a quarter in mint state, MS, condition is incredibly difficult. Coins graded MS-65 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC are rare and valuable. Add an error to that coin, and now you're in serious collector territory. So, how much can a 1983 quarter actually be worth today? Let's break it down. While a well-worn 1983 quarter is still worth just 25 cents, things get interesting when you find one in high grade. A 1983 P or 1983 D quarter in pristine uncirculated condition can sell for $50 to $250. But if you're lucky enough to own one with the Spitting Eagle error or a major double die, values can soar much higher. Some rare error coins and top-graded specimens have fetched $1,500 to $2,500 at auction. So next time you're sifting through your change, don't overlook that old quarter from 1983. It might just be more than pocket change, it could be a valuable piece of American history hiding in plain sight. Top 4, we're talking about a very special piece of American currency, the 1970 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it might look like just another coin you'd find in a handful of change. But don't be fooled, this quarter has hidden details, mysterious errors, and a backstory that's made it one of the most talked about quarters in the collector world. And yes, we'll reveal its real market and auction value at the end, so make sure you stay tuned. The 1970 quarter might not seem all that old, but it was minted during a very interesting period in U.S. history. The Vietnam War was still going on, the economy was shifting, and the U.S. Mint was producing millions of coins each year. So, with so many 1970 quarters out there, why are collectors buzzing about this one? The answer lies in its rarity, condition, and one particularly shocking minting mystery that turned this ordinary coin into a treasure worth thousands. First, let's talk about the design. On the obverse, you'll see the familiar face of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with the word Liberty above and the date, 1970, at the bottom. On the reverse, the bold American eagle perches on a bundle of arrows, wings spread, symbolizing power and readiness. It's classic, timeless, and one of the most recognizable coin designs in U.S. history, but here's where it gets interesting. There were two main versions of the 1970 quarter, the 1970 D, struck in Denver, and the 1970 S-proof coin, minted in San Francisco. The regular circulation coins aren't rare in worn condition, but in high-grade, uncirculated condition, they can already fetch a premium. However, the real star of the show is a mysterious 1970 S-proof quarter with a hidden secret that turned the coin world upside down. In 2016, a jaw-dropping discovery hit the numismatic community. A collector revealed a 1970 S quarter that had been struck over a 1941 Canadian quarter. That's right, this coin literally had a second coin beneath its surface. You could still see remnants of the original 1941 date under the U.S. design. It was an extremely rare minting error, known as a double denomination strike, and it stunned experts and collectors alike. Whether this error was intentional or accidental remains debated, but one thing is certain: it created one of the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. Even beyond this famous example, there are other 1970s proof quarters that have become collectible. If you happen to find one with a double die error, where the letters or numbers appear slightly doubled, it could be worth far more than face value. These small, hard-to-spot details are exactly what experienced collectors look for. And the proof coins, known for their mirror-like shine and sharp detail, are already limited in number. Combine that with a rare error, and you've got a real winner. Condition plays a massive role in a coin's value. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or circulation damage, are far more valuable than those that have seen daily use. Especially when it comes to older proof coins, collectors are always willing to pay top dollar for perfection. So now the question on everyone's mind: what is a 1970 quarter really worth today? A standard 1970 quarter in circulated condition is typically only worth face value. However, in high-grade mint state condition, it can sell for $25 to $150. Proof versions from San Francisco can reach $200 to $500, depending on quality. But the famous 1970s quarter struck over the 1941 Canadian coin? That one sold at auction for a staggering $35,000. Yes, you heard that right. $35,000 for a single quarter. So the next time you're going through your pocket change or digging through an old coin collection, keep an eye out for a 1970 quarter, especially one with an S mint mark or any signs of doubling or odd markings. You might just be holding one of the most valuable quarters ever made. Top 5, and last rare coin. This is all about a classic piece of American pocket change, the 1977 United States quarter dollar. It's a coin you've probably seen hundreds of times, maybe even spent without a second thought. But what if I told you that this seemingly ordinary quarter could actually be worth much more than just 25 cents? That's right, under the right conditions, the 1977 quarter can turn into a hidden treasure, especially if you know exactly what to look for. So stick around, because we're going to explore the history, design, rare errors, and the real market value that makes this coin exciting for collectors around the world. Let's start with a little context. The 1970s were a fascinating time in US history. Technology was advancing, styles were changing, and inflation was on the rise. During this period, coin production was high, and millions of quarters were pumped out of the US mints in Philadelphia and Denver. The 1977 quarter, minted at both locations, saw wide circulation, and most of them have long since worn down from years of use. That's why finding a 1977 quarter in excellent condition is already something special. Now let's take a closer look at the design. The obverse, or front side, of the coin features the profile of George Washington, the first U.S. president, designed by John Flanagan. His strong, steady gaze has been a fixture on the quarter since 1932. Above his head is the word Liberty, and just below his neck, the date, 1977. Flip the coin over, and you'll see a powerful American bald eagle, wings outstretched, clutching a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness. The reverse also includes the words United States of America and quarter dollar, with E pluribus unum resting just above the eagle's head. So, if this coin is so common, what makes the 1977 quarter worth collecting? It all comes down to condition and errors. Let's break it down. First, condition is key. The majority of 1977 quarters are well worn, but if you come across one in uncirculated, mint state condition, especially graded MS65 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC, it can fetch a much higher price on the collector's market. A pristine 1977 quarter with full luster, clean fields, and sharp detail is always in demand, but the real excitement comes with mint errors, and the 1977 quarter has its fair share. Some of the most valuable examples include double die errors, where the lettering or design appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the minting process. These errors can be hard to spot without magnification, but once identified, they can increase a coin's value significantly. Another error to look out for is off-center strikes. These occur when the blank coin isn't properly aligned under the die, resulting in a coin that looks off or lopsided. The more off-center the design, without losing the date, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. You might also come across 1977 quarters struck on the wrong planchet, for example, struck on a dime blank. These coins are usually lighter in weight and smaller in size, and they often sell for hundreds or even thousands due to their rarity. Let's not forget about coins with clipped planchets, where a part of the coin's edge is missing due to a blank cutting error. Or coins with die cracks or cuds, which are raised metal blobs from damaged dies. These oddities make a coin unique and very attractive to error collectors. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for, the real value of the 1977 quarter. If you've got one in average circulated condition, it's still worth just 25 cents. But if you find a 1977 quarter in high-grade uncirculated condition, its value can jump to $20 to $100, depending on the grade. Quarters with dramatic errors like off-center strikes or double dies can sell anywhere from $150 to over $500, depending on rarity and visual appeal. And coins struck on the wrong planchet? Those can reach auction prices of $1,000 to $1,500 or more. So before you toss that old change back into circulation, take a good look at your 1977 quarters. You might be holding a small piece of coin history that's worth way more than its face value. And who knows, you could uncover a rare mint error that turns a pocket coin into a payday. If you enjoyed this coin deep dive, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next discovery. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and always check your change, because the next rare find could be hiding right in your pocket.